Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now in the last episode of Imagination Megapark I worked on this reverser roller coaster over here in the Mystery Marsh. I think this area turned out great. I really like the scenery and I think the coaster also looks amazing, also with this other ride here in the middle. Now in today's episode I'm going to once again move on to the next area, which is of course the subsea sands. And what I want to add today is kind of a unique coaster, as it will use the submarine vehicles that are normally used for a very gentle underwater ride. So today I'm going to use those vehicles to make a coaster that's a little bit more spectacular. And it will roughly occupy this area over here. And I will also heavily use scenery to decorate it. Now, before I do any building, I think it's time to rename several more handymen after commenters. Alright, here you can see the 6 new additions to the handyman squad. If you also want to become a handyman in my park, just leave a fun or interesting comment on this video. And I might choose you to become part of the handyman squad in the next video. Alright, with the handyman named, I'm now first going to start to make a layout for this new coaster. Alright, the layout for the submarine coaster is completed. Now I did make a few changes to it off camera. I gave it a second chain lift here because I noticed it wasn't actually making it through the track. But that's now resolved. Now what's special about this coaster? Well, normally these submarine vehicles, they are powered vehicles, so they will just move forward on their own. But I made a little change on them using the right vehicle editor. And basically I gave them a first vehicle that's invisible, and it's an invisible variant of a coaster car, and coaster cars normally obey gravity. So because the first car is a car that obeys gravity, the entire train now does. So it will no longer move forward on its own, but you can just move it up now with a chain lift, and then it will just fall down and continue on coasting. Now, of course, this still does look a little bit silly, because the tops of these submarines, they're just moving through the track. So what I'm going to do next is that I will add a track above this existing track, and I will make this track invisible, and that will make it look like these submarines are suspended below the track. Now, I will also still have to make some rough landscape changes, because right now this coaster is still moving through the ground in some spots. So I will just quickly do those landscape changes and the track change next. Okay, I've now moved the track up a little bit. Well, I put a fake track above the original track and I made the original track invisible. And now it properly looks like these submarines are suspended below the track here. Now you may be screaming at your monitor saying, "But Ducklink, the submarines are now moving through all these supports." And you are right. So the next step in this process is to actually make fake supports for this coaster all along the track. Now to do that, I will just build a piece of other track. I think I will just use well, some sort of inverted coaster track. And I'll make the track of that new track invisible. And then I should be able to place supports everywhere. Let's just select a track. I'll go with mini suspended coaster. And we'll need to find the track piece that always generates a support. I think we can just use... oh wait, this is actually not the correct track type to use, since it has these weird supports. Let me choose a different one that actually has footers. I'll just use the compact inverted coaster. Now, if you have a curved track piece from this coaster, you can see on every... basically, if you have a straight piece, you can see here it doesn't draw a support, here it does, here it doesn't, here it does. That's not what we want. We want to be able to place a support anywhere. So I'll just take a curved track piece and I'll make the track invisible. So let's make the track invisible. Right now you can see we're just left with supports, and I can just copy and paste these anywhere. And I will use these to make some nice supports for this submarine coaster. Okay, I've now created some custom supports for this coaster. So now, yeah, the track is suspended. Well, it looks like the track is suspended now with these supports, as these supports all connect from the top. Now, it was a little bit tricky to get the supports to work nicely in some spots, especially in the diagonal tracks. But I think overall it's done pretty nicely. Now you can see I also put some of these single rail tracks next to some of these supports. I didn't do it everywhere, because I think it would just look too cluttered, but I did do it in some spots. Now what I'm going to do now is to actually create a station for the coaster. I think we can go pretty big for this. So yeah, let's go. Okay, the station for the ride is now completed. By the way, I also gave the name, it's now called the Subnauticoaster. Now, I went pretty big for the station, as you can see. Just used some of these castle walls, mixed with some stuff from the Asian set to make these nice looking windows. Altogether, I think it makes for a pretty nice building like this. As you can see, it attracts quite a lot of guests. And that's mostly because it has quite a high excitement rating. It's almost 10. I'll probably lower it a little bit because it doesn't have the best capacity. Now, all that's left for the coaster is to decorate around the ride. I want to quite heavily decorate around it. It will have lots of rocks, lots of foliage. So yeah, there will be quite a lot of work to do. So best get on with it. Alright, I've now finished decorating the coaster. Now it does look a little bit chaotic, but once you see through the chaos, I think it actually does look pretty nice. I did leave some space around the coaster itself, mostly the edges that got decorated here, with these plants, but also put plenty of these blue rocks in between. And yeah, I definitely think it makes this area look special. And when you zoom out, I think it definitely makes this area look very colorful. Yeah, overall, I'm super happy with how this coaster turned out. And I think it will be really fun to follow this coaster around later in the video. Now, before I move on in the video, I just want to give a quick shout out to all my patrons, who you can see over here. Yeah, they have all been given a spot in the park as an entertainer in fun places. If you also want to become an entertainer in the park and support my channel, you can find a link to my Patreon channel in the video description. All the support is really appreciated. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. I think it will be fun to end the video with a ride on this coaster. If you enjoyed watching me build, please hit that like button. It would really help out my channel. And if you want to see more of these videos, you can always subscribe. And yeah, I would really like to know what you think of this coaster. So please type me a message in the comments. I try to reply to all of them. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.